Hello, welcome to the new Moon Knight Movies podcast number 2. Today we'll be debating which is better, Marvel or DC. And, well, not really debating, but we'll talk about what our favorite comic companies are. And we'll have a little fight sequence. Hawkeye versus Green Arrow. So if you want to see that, just skip right ahead if you don't want to hear us blab on. But, of
Better
course,
yet, stick around or I'll shoot you. Just kidding.
No, I won't, because I'm Arkham Victim 27. But no, me and Arkham Victim 27 are going to discuss what our favorite comic companies are
again
and why. And yes, so let's start. Arkham Victim 27, go.
Well, I sort of like, for me, I kind of like DC because it has all my favorite characters, but I've started to get into, like, Marvel with their, like, storylines, like Fear Itself, A vs. X, and Civil War. Like, those are some of my favorites. But then again, I kind of like what DC, like, used to do with their storylines, like Flashpoint, Blackest Night. I wasn't too crazy about Brightest Day, but then again, I love Watchmen. So that sort of made up for it.
I saw the end of Blackest Night, and I was reading it at night, and I was like, oh, come on. I can't remember. It was like 2 months or something until Brightest Day came out, and I was like waiting, and I finally got my Brightest Day number 0. I'm like, okay, it'll pick up. Come Brightest Day issue 13, I'm like, I'm done with this.
Come Brightest Day issue 7, I was just like, oh, screw it. I don't want to read it anymore because I don't like it. The covers don't have anything to do with what's part of the story.
Yeah.
It reminds me of a Simpsons episode, like how the beginning has nothing to do with the main point of the episode.
Yeah, I admit they were well written, but it kind of felt like they're like, okay, Blackest Night, now we gotta keep it strong. What do we do? And then Jeff Johns is just kind of like, Butterfingers!
We add Bluetooth.
Okay. But, yeah.
I could just see like a focus group just, what's next? We add Bluetooth.
Oh, 3G.
It makes sense. Comic books with 3G. I think that's Intel, the computer company.
But didn't they do that though? Where he's like, no, we have to add it, otherwise the zombies will take over the world. Something stupid like that. I remember that commercial.
Yeah, I remember that commercial. That was actually a pretty good commercial.
But that's kind of sidetracked. I am liking the Marvel events because, like, Blackest Night, I don't think they planned it from the start, but by the time the reboot came along, it's like, so what's the point of the giant bloodbath if you're just going to restore all the characters you like, if you're going to pick and choose?
That's what sort of pissed me off.
I kind of hate how Wally West is gone completely. I liked him as the other Flash. I liked him as the 2 Flashes, and I like Jay Garrick. And I know how a lot of comic book fans are like, Wally West is the best Flash. Personally,
mine's Barry Allen.
Because all the...
Wally West is my least favorite.
Yeah, I prefer... My favorites are Barry Allen, Jay Garrick, Bart Allen, sorry. I blanked there. Then Wally West.
Same here.
I am not a Wally
here.
West fan much. And I kind of liked how they were kind of... Barry Allen would be the main one, and then Jay Garrick and Wally West were in there. But I guess it kind of got a lot. I kind of wish, like, Jay Garrick might have retired and maybe Wally West took his place as the other Flash. As much as I like Jay Garrick.
Honestly, to me, no offense to people who like Guy Gardner, but...
least favorite Earth Lantern, in my opinion.
Yeah, see, same here. And Wally West is the Guy Gardner of the Flashes. That's just what I have to say. For me, for Green Lanterns, not to like get off track or anything, but Hal Jordan, Alan Scott, Black Guy, that Kyle Rayner or whatever his name is, and Guy Gardner. Tom R. Ray is the best Green Lantern ever.
Tom R. Ray actually is my favorite. If you look at my top 5 Green Lantern list from right before Green Lantern, the movie, came out, I was like, and my favorite Green Lantern is Tom R. Ray. And I'm like, what? And then I don't know why I picked him. I just think he's awesome for some reason. Because I read the short, the what's they're called? What are they called? Those weird
One shots.
Showcase presents. I'm sorry. And then I'm blanking so much today. And Tom Ari is in there, and I'm just like, that's a badass fish dude. I'm like, you're my new favorite Green Lantern. I chose you. But my favorite Earth Lanterns are Hal Jordan, Kyle Rayner, Alan Scott. Did I say Kyle Rayner? Yeah, that's Kyle Rayner. I'm sorry. John Stewart, and then Guy Gardner.
John Stewart. See, I thought his name was John. I did.
Black
I
guy.
hope I didn't offend anyone of African descent.
Oh, but
That's just how I classify people in movies. Who was your favorite character? Oh, Jamal. Who's that? The black guy who died at the beginning? Yeah.
Well, they
I'm not
almost died at the
racist.
beginning, to be fair.
Not the Hunger Games. He died second to last.
That's fair enough. But yeah, let's stop being racist against Green Lanterns and let's continue.
Maybe Green Lantern should stop being racist.
That's true. So, what are you thinking about all the movies right now? The movie franchises on Marvel's half, because of course right now that's kind of what you're leaning towards, pull list wise. Are there any like specific stories, like other than like the main storylines and like things like that?
No, I kind of like what they're doing now.
Yeah, I think their style's pretty nice right now.
Yeah, especially, honestly for me, X-Men First Class was like the best superhero movie of last year.
That was awesome.
Because, I haven't seen Thor or Green Lantern, but then I saw Captain America in the theaters, and
well, you don't want to see
pretty good.
Well, I thought Green Lantern was pretty good. There were some parts that were a little bad, but if you've never seen a Green Lantern, if you've never read a Green Lantern comic ever, it's like they did an origin, but then some parts they thought you just know, and you want to relate to this character, but he doesn't feel like the original Hal Jordan. That's the biggest
Honestly,
problem with me. I don't think Ryan Reynolds is a good Hal Jordan.
Yeah, see, I don't see it. It's honestly, if I could pick, I would have picked like what's his name? What's the guy from The Hangover? He's the main character.
Is he the one in Arrested Development?
I don't think so. Bradley Cooper.
Bradley Cooper.
I don't know why. He's kind of got like that cocky attitude.
Yeah.
Like Hal Jordan.
I don't even mind like Ryan Reynolds' look. I don't think a character has to look exactly the same, but I think Ryan Reynolds just came off as kind of like a man slut the whole time, and then he's just like, and then Carol's like, you should really change. And then he's like,
worse. It could have been Mark Wahlberg.
Dun, 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 dun. Okay, why not? I'll change. And then it's
Could've
just
been
kind of like,
worse.
that's your character change? You're just like, okay, basically, I'll change.
Could have been worse. He could have been played by Mark Wahlberg.
Yeah.
Not to be rude, because Mark Wahlberg's actually one of my favorite actors, but he doesn't play good comic book / video game characters. And I realized back...
Mark Wahlberg couldn't play a good Tomb Raider?
I'm talking about Max Payne. I mean,
I know.
not to drag off a little bit, but I was a huge fan of Max Payne, the games.
Yeah.
I found out the movie was coming out, and I was like, oh my god!
Max Payne!
And then I saw it, and it wasn't terrible, but it was pretty bad.
I didn't see it yet.
Yeah, don't. It's pretty bad. And then back in like 2010, people were pissy because they chose him for the Uncharted movie.
When is that supposed to come out?
I'm not sure. I think it's still in development.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of people chose Nathan Fillion.
Ooh, Development? Arrested Development is coming back, guys. I'm excited for that. Although that's random. That's just like my favorite show. It's coming on to Netflix, and then a movie, and then maybe the story will feel a bit more wrapped up to me. Because they're kind of like, yeah, Arrested Development, you're out of here. All the good shows almost got canceled. Like, Community almost got canceled, and that show's the best. But at least I think it'll make it past 4.5 seasons.
That's all the good shows?
Almost halfway through 4.5 seasons.
One show is all the good shows?
No, there's more.
Breaking Bad.
Breaking Bad. Breaking Bad actually is getting canceled, and it's getting remade in England.
What? How dare they? I'm
That's
sorry.
what my brother said.
I'm sorry. Ugh.
Unless that was
I love
some
that
sort
show.
of lie.
That
I
show
do
was
like
boner
that show.
inducing.
My brother
Sorry for my
bought
little
that for
tyrant there.
My brother bought the complete first season for $1. I mean, I know it's on
I think
Amazon.
I broke a chair.
I know it's on Netflix, but still. But let's get back onto topic because this has nothing to do with comic books for the time being. But I actually picked up Watchmen for $3 at the at Netflix, and at Netflix
Pawn store.
at this pawn store.
That was a good day.
Oh man. We were
Uh.
talking during a movie, and we actually got yelled at by some old lady. She says, you have to grow up in the movie theater because it's like...
I don't think I'm ever going to hear the end of that from
They're
you.
like, Peter, who do you love? And he's like, and I'm like, Lindsay Lohan. And then some old lady after the movie is like...
She must have had like the
"You
best
gotta grow up."
acoustics in the theater.
Yeah, I know, because I'm just like,
you didn't even
Lindsay
say
Lohan.
that loud.
It wasn't
Either that or
loud.
we had the best acoustics. Because the whole theater seemed to hear us.
Yeah, I just heard a burst of laughter in the background. I'm like, what's so funny? Because I didn't think anyone heard me. And I didn't think it was that funny either. But
Yeah, and she didn't yell at the little kids who were cheering at the end of the movie.
Yeah.
That was funny. Show some respect.
All those lethal Captain Crunch berries. But, wow, we're way off topic. But, I'll get on to my half. I'm really liking DC's New 52 right now. And frankly, Marvel and DC are really close right now. Marvel's having the good events again, but then DC, I just really like the characters. But I feel like a lot of the times DC's like, ooh, our sales went down 2% this month. Jeff Johns, can you write up a new crossover event featuring all of our books for 8 months straight? So there's like 400 issues that are going to sell out completely. And then we're not going to do anything for the next 5 months until we need another paycheck.
See, the way I kind of wanted it to be is it's not a continued storyline. I liked how it was in the 60s and like
How it's single.
etc. Yeah, like
How it's one or two
kind of
issues.
started in like the 80s.
Because, like, I like picking up single issues. I like subscribing and getting all the issues. I'm doing it for Nightwing right now. But, like, if I'm picking up an Action Comics, oftentimes it's like, oh, this cover looks cool. I might, like, flip through it to make sure it's not just, like, Clark Kent talking to Lois the whole time. But if I see some action in there and I think this might be good, I'll buy it. But then I hate where it's, like, part 1 of 7.
Yeah,
and it's
you'll
not
be
even
like,
called,
to
like, a
continue,
crossover event.
and
I'm
I'll
just like...
I'll-
And then I'll buy the next month if it is like the 90s issues had like the parts on it a lot of the times, but sometimes it'll just say like part 1. I don't know if it's part 2 or part 18 that we're gonna go up to, and sometimes there's just like part 6s and 7s, and I'm just like, how did I get into this? So a lot of the times I won't complete the story because I don't want to continuously spend money on it. And then there's things that are so up-hyped, like War of the Superman, when that was coming out, was so up-hyped, and then I'm like when the issue started to come out, after number 0, which was free on Free Comic Book Day, I heard absolutely nothing about it. It just disappeared. It was off the face of the earth, basically.
Hey, speaking of Free Comic Book Day,
Free Comic.
that's coming up soon. That's
That
coming
is.
up like next month. April,
Oh,
May,
that's coming
June. Yeah.
May.
Wasn't
Oh,
it
that's
like
coming
May
out the day. That'll
first
come out the
Saturday
day
of
after
May?
Avengers.
First Saturday of May.
Oh, but goody, I'm going up to my uncle's cabin on the day of the Avengers,
Yeah,
so I have
you
to
always
see it at midnight.
miss-
I
You
always miss
miss
Free
Free
Comic Day.
Comic Book Day.
But most of the time it's just like crappy Kung Fu Panda comics, and then there's like one Green Lantern, and then like one Superman, one Batman, and then maybe like a free Hero Click, and then like one Iron Man comic.
Yeah,
So
but
usually-
it gives you an excuse to get out of the house and go to your favorite comic book store.
Yeah, but I'm always gone, unfortunately. And my uncle has like the most
Yeah,
remote
but you
cabin
always
ever,
have
so
an excuse to go to a comic book store.
my excuses. You should really take me today to the comic book store, Mama. Yeah, thank you. I'll like hop in the car and she'll be like, I can't today. I gotta do college and such. I'm just like, no, you don't. And then she's like, get out of the car. But yeah, right now I think DC is doing pretty good. Their new 52s at first really pissed me off, so I was like gonna go on like I was gonna like not buy DC Comics for a month, and I'm just like, that won't help anything. They're gonna sell so many copies. But and then I just bought everything anyways because I'm stupid. And But I guess I'm kind of enjoying it now because they're starting to pick up and they're starting to, though they're like a new canon and some characters like missing in Limbo and stuff, they're starting to get back to their normal routine of kind of like story after story. So I'm starting to like it again. I'm trying to stick solely Batman for about a year or two in
Batman's
DC.
a badass and everyone loves Batman.
Well, also they kept Batman and Green Lantern basically the same, so I'm sticking Batman and Green Lantern for the most part. And then I'll jump back on to Superman in like a year when like the dust settles and it's not like, ooh, you want to buy another issue of the same origin that we just remade from the 90s, slightly different with less characters and a less likable Superman. I also hate how in Action Comics, him and Jimmy Olsen can't be the same age. It makes no sense. It's like he's not Superman's drinking buddy, Jimmy Olsen. It's Superman's young pal that, I guess it sounds a little creepy when you think about it. But
Sounds a little pedophile.
I don't know.
Like if you rewatch The Karate Kid, that movie seems really pedophile.
I teach you karate. Alright, mister. But, wow, this is like the least on-topic podcast ever. But, nonetheless, yes,
We started out talking about Watchmen, and then we got into talking
when
about...
did we talk about Watchmen?
Oh,
yeah. Oh, yes, yes. But,
That was a good day.
But, yeah, so I'm liking it right now. The Justice League's the fastest read in the world, so I'm not really picking that up right now. I would like to pick up Justice League Monthly, but I'm not going to spend like $5 on something that I can read in like a minute and a half. But definitely for me right now, I think the characters were more down to earth with, DC, and Marvel felt a lot more corporate for a while, and right now, it just feels all very corporate to me. But I am really preferring, movie-wise right now, what are you thinking? What are better, Marvel, DC? Do you think Marvel's throwing out so many movies they're crappy? Or do you think DC's movies are what? What are your thoughts on that?
I almost think the opposite of what you said about Marvel. I mean, Thor kicked it off, and
Thor
they
was
started
good.
a really...
Did you see Thor?
No, I
Dude,
haven't.
Thor was great. You're gonna have to see that. We'll rent it sometimes. Sometime. And that introduced Thor, or Loki. And I knew a lot about Loki being a comic fan, but to the public, even my brother thought he was pretty cool, and he's in no way a fan of comic books at all. But I think Loki's one of the cooler characters. He's actually a really cool villain. And then Captain America was really good, I personally thought it was my favorite movie of the year for superhero-wise. And then X-Men First Class was
like
awesome.
2011 was the year of comic book movies.
And then
Green Hornet, Thor, Priest, X-Men, Green Lantern, Captain America.
and this year we're getting
Avengers.
Dredd. Aren't we getting Dredd? Batman.
You mean Judge Dredd?
Yeah, Judge Dredd. I think we're getting another one. That might be
Really?
next year. Oh my god. At least it's not Sylvester Stallone.
Ugh, that was a terrible movie.
But, we're getting, as I said, Avengers,
We had
Batman,
Ghost Rider. That doesn't
Ghost
even
Rider,
count as a
which
movie.
doesn't count because it really sucked. Amazing Spider-Man, which people are like, ooh, you can't remake it already. And I agree, you shouldn't remake movies too fast, but they gotta keep their rights, and I think this time they nailed it on the head. Like, Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man was good.
It seemed dorky. And that's
It
why I
was good
liked
at first, and then in the middle it was really good, number 2. And then number 3 started, to kind of suck. And I knew if they kept doing it, it would be like, my name's Peter Parker. I'm a 45-year-old dude that swings around in weird poses as Spider-Man. So I kind of like that they rebooted it. And I think they did it right picking Gwen Stacy. Because Gwen Stacy likes Peter Parker more than she likes Spider-Man. And I kind of disliked how Mary Jane's kind of like, Peter, I'm not going to date you. I can date Spider-Man, for God's sake. Oh my god, what a loser. But, I didn't mind Mary Jane, I guess. She just seems so whiny sometimes. Like, number 3, she got mad at Spider-Man because she couldn't come to the play. It's like, I think I would understand if my boyfriend, because she knew it inside. I think she found out number 2 that she didn't say she found out.
He
But
took off
you
his
kind of
mask
can
in front of
insinuate.
her.
Oh, he did? Oh, yeah.
Watch the movie.
I don't know what I'm talking about. But anyway, it's kind of like, seriously, your boyfriend is Spider-Man. It's like he could probably be up to something and make up a good enough excuse to why he couldn't make it to a play.
Burning orphanage is gonna blow up in this time. Save them.
Ooh, crap. Mary Jane's play is in 5 minutes. Oh, man, those orphans. Well, too bad. And the orphan's burnt to a cinder. Thanks a lot, Spider-Man. But that's what I didn't really like about it. And I thought Tobey Maguire was a good Spider-Man.
This one doesn't seem as bad. I mean, I saw a picture of him, and I thought, really, this looks like an Edward Cullen side type of thing. And then I saw the guy in The Social Network, and I was like, wow, this guy can act. And then I saw the trailer for Amazing Spider-Man and all these photos, and I was like, wow, they really made him look nerdy.
Well, yeah, he looks good. Or for the Spider-Man role, I mean. And then they brought back Gwen Stacy. He has his original spider web shooters. His suit, everyone was complaining about, but I think it looks better than before. Honestly,
I just don't like how it looks like he's wearing tennis shoes on the bottom.
Yeah, that's true. I think I'll buy the Marvel Select action figures unless they're as bad as it looked in promo pictures. But they were promos, so I don't know if they'll be that bad. I bet they'll be better than they look, because they're not going to
throw
throw
Speaking of figures, you know what would be awesome?
What?
Pulp Fiction action figures.
Did you know I have Napoleon Dynamite action figures? I was looking on my thing and Review Spot was reviewing them, and I didn't actually watch them, but you just said that, and it reminded me. They also have Tick action figures, you know, Tick comics? Yeah, it's a pretty cool series. If you haven't seen it, it's pretty cool.
I've heard about the Tick.
Yeah, he actually started as not even indie comics. He was literally an underground comic company, and he built up to a live action show.
Yeah, not to, zone off or anything, but back to last week's podcast with the whole video game comic book ideas, I could see a Crackdown style version of the Tick. Like
that
a video
would be
game
cool.
like that. That'd be pretty cool.
I think that's also they should do a Superman video game, except obviously you don't shoot out guns and stuff, but what if it took place in the 30s, it's ultra stylized, didn't I mention this?
You literally had this, I think you had this, I might have that French disease where you think you remember stuff.
Well, anyways, as I was saying, it was basically just like Superman would jump around a lot like he did in the 40s. Sometimes I'm quite repetitive and I don't know it, but,
maybe you have that French disease.
Overall, my opinion on the best company right now, I am really growing on Marvel, and I almost think it's a tie, but right now I'm going to have to pick DC just because I'm a big DC fanboy, and I really like their stories and stuff, and I'm more ongoing with DC. Although I am liking Spider-Man a lot more. I think they're taking him in the right direction right now.
I'm confused. I haven't been into all the Spider-Man stuff. Is he dead?
Spider-Man?
Yeah,
Ultimate Spider-Man.
Promo called The Death of Spider-Man.
Oh, it's just Ultimate Spider-Man, and then Miles Morales taking over for him as Ultimate Spider-Man.
Who's Ultimate Spider-Man?
You know Ultimate's the comics where it's the Ultimate Universe. Spider-Man is dead. Peter Parker in the normal universe is still alive and well, but he's it's weird. I'm not a huge fan of Spectacular right now. I'm getting back into them, and I think the stories will pick up. But my plan is actually to try and jump into Ultimate and,
Speaking of Spectacular, not to draw off, but I remember reading through, Civil War. Spider-Man's beating up all these people, going after, Mr. Fantastic, and he sees this happening at him.
On the Avengers right now? Oh yeah, didn't he join 2006? Mm-hmm. I know he joined for the first time in the 90s or something, but... Yeah,
it was funny though, because Mr. Fantastic goes, amazing, and then Spider-Man, kicks him in the face and just goes, spectacular, and I thought, haha, amazing Spider-Man and spectacular Spider-Man. I get it. Not to drag off or anything, but I don't know.
That's kind of on topic. But, I don't know. My plan is, I'm going to subscribe to Ultimate Spider-Man the second that the movie comes out, because they're going to want to pick up the stories as much as possible. I'm kind of scared because I saw a promo where it's 2 Spider-Men, and it's Ultimate Spider-Man, and I'm like, if they bring back Peter Parker, seriously, you don't have the balls to kill off a character from an alternate dimension? Are you serious? Face slap. But, so yes, my opinion, DC is the best. Your opinion?
I'm probably gonna have to go with Marvel right now.
Well, that'll take us into our next category-ish thing. We're gonna try and end this by like 40, probably topsies. But, fight to the death. Not fight to the death. There's kind of like
Hawkeye
a
versus
match.
Green Arrow.
I will be representing my DC brethren, and I pick Green Arrow.
And I'm gonna stick to my Marvel side. I just think Hawkeye's more of a badass than Green Arrow, but that's just me. I think he's kind of got like that cool, suave kind of style, like that James Bond kind of thing. Like, especially the guy who plays him in the movie The Avengers. I don't know why, but I could see him as a Bond guy.
I can too, but let's get my opening statement with Green Arrow. The thing I like about Green Arrow the most is that he can adapt really well. Like, for example, Green Arrow was loved at times and hated at times. In the early comics, he was kind of like a Batman-ish figure, kind of running around, a bit happier than Batman. And now when you think about it, he's kind of like on the run, and who even knows? I didn't look at his new DC 52. I'm talking pre-52 Green Arrow. Like, Brightest Day Green Arrow, I own #1 like 5 times because I bought it once. And then I got it in a grab bag at my Comic-Con, and my dad gave me his grab bag because he was one of the first 500 in. And then,
So was I.
and then like, I also accidentally grabbed it off this free comic. There was like a free comic shelf where they were giving out free comics, and I didn't think I had it. I didn't know it was in my grab bag, so I ended up with it 5 times. But Green Arrow there, he lives in like the freaking forest, and he's a forest vigilante. He was the one who originated with trick arrows, and Hawkeye was kind of a knockoff, because for a while he was using trick arrows as well as Green Arrow was. And Green Arrow actually started using those first. I think Green Arrow is a little, like, I don't think he's as good of a leader, though. If he was leading the Avengers and Green Arrow was leading the Justice League, I think by far the Justice League would get annihilated. I mean, if it was like an equal team, like Sentry and Superman, and then there's Hulk and, I don't know, you know, kind of like an equal team.
Yeah, I'm picking up what you're throwing down.
Yeah. But, like, yeah, I think, whose bowsmanship is better? Really, I think it's about the same, in my opinion. Do you have any... but really, I don't know what I really think about this. Because I think Green Arrow is a good mentor, but he's not a good leader. Although they were kind of similar.
Well, think about how good of a mentor he was when he found out Speedy was doing drugs.
Well, he was a good mentor, I should say.
And then Speedy did drugs.
Here's the deal, Speedy. I know you're my ward, and I know you're underage. I'm going to leave you at this mansion, and then I'm going to go off on some adventures with Green Arrow and Black Canary. I'll be back later to do a drug issue with you involved. Don't worry, you'll be back in like 2-3 years. What? You're a junkie? All I did was leave you in my giant mansion alone for a few years. How did you become a junkie? Big question mark over Green Arrow's head, as Green Arrow was confused for no valid reason. But, it's like, seriously. I thought that was really stupid on their part. And now why is Speedy was like one of the happier sidekicks. He was like happy as Robin, and for some reason he turned out to be a big douchebag, which is one thing I'm really hating about the new 52 and DC in general. One thing I'll give to Marvel, that their character traits stay the same the whole time. DC seems that they can just turn any character into a douchebag when they want to. Like 60s Batman turned into this. Are you serious?
Well, maybe they're trying to say that the world is a tough place and anyone can turn into a douchebag.
Yeah. That's probably the moral of the story. So, okay. Okay, so what do you think? Heads on, right now, why would Hawkeye win? Give me your reasons. I think I'll go first. I think Green Arrow would win because Green Arrow is good at stealth. He's not very good at leadership, but he's a lot less cocky than Hawkeye is. And he can be cocky at times, Green Arrow. But I think Hawkeye, if he thinks he's the better archer, I think he can put down his guard and potentially give Green Arrow the win. What is your opinion on this fight?
I just root for Hawkeye because I feel that he is a more likable character. See, the way I see it, if you're a superhero and you're a billionaire like Green Arrow was, or slash is, I don't know, I think he might be taking a few lessons from Batman. Because Batman can be a real grade A douchebag. I mean, like, you know, but that's just me.
Yeah, I think he kind of trailed off of the Batman thing over recent years, but I do agree on you. But, so, do you think any, like, tactical skills that he has, maybe his arrogance would help him win in the way that he'd be a quicker attacker, and Green Arrow would kind of flush out his enemies, and then I think eventually he would notice Hawkeye's arrogant and then go in for an arrogance attack, and let's say it was just head on. The two of them were shooting arrows at each other and going head-to-head combat right there, like they're in the middle, just hand to hand. Their arrowmanship is the same or something. They're blowing off each other's arrows. Who do you think would win in a hand-to-hand fight?
I'm not sure. I honestly think it would end up as a tie.
I think it'd be so close, because the character Hawkeye was, I don't know if he was designed to be like Green Arrow, but he ended up to be such a similar counterpart. I think they'd be fighting for a long time. I think anyone could win the fight. Why don't you guys tell us in the comments below what you think? And I know this is probably like the worst comic book podcast in the history of the world, and I'm sorry about my friend's racism, but
I also apologize.
Well, yes, that's all for today, and this is Moon Knight Movies signing off, and
Arkham Victim 27. Don't be, make sure to check out my channel in the description below, and
you might have to put it there. I don't. Probably not.
And don't be afraid to check out our video game podcast. It's called Gamer Tag. It'll be up every week. We've kind of been on a little hiatus, like Mad Men has. We like to keep up with pop culture. So, yeah, we, check it out, because we're going to be doing some fun stuff, and
catch you later, guys.
Yeah, it's going to be really fun.
So, yeah, see you guys next week, and, we're thinking about having a Watchmen scheduled. Now, that's not set in stone, and we might do that later or earlier, or not earlier, we can't really do that earlier, but, like, we might do that in the future, but we're planning on it for next week, so, if you do want to, Watchmen special will be up. And thank you guys for watching as always. And don't forget to subscribe, please. And also watch our first Gamer Tag podcast and our first
It's on our Gamer channel, Recon Blue 25.
Just look up Gamer Tagged and then miscellaneous video game stuff, and you'll probably find it. And that's all for today, guys. And talk to you guys soon.